So now you've built up the structure of your dance music track. You've got your intro, building up the instruments gradually. You've got your breakdown where the drums drop out and you get this kind of moment of calm. And then you've got the build up in the drums, the exciting bit where the drums get more intense. And then finally the drop where the bass comes in. And then your other instruments gradually come in again to increase the interest. Now from there, we're going to look at some extra things we can do. And in this video, I'm going to show you the kind of icing on the cake, the stuff that's going to make your piece sound even more exciting, including adding other parts, adding effects, and more. So let's start by adding other parts. We've built up our track using these main four parts: the drums, the bass, the pad, and the riff. But you can add in as many other parts as you like, as long as you stick to the same sort of principle as you have done already, which is making short, repeated melodic parts that can work with everything else in your song. So let's try it. Let's add a new track. I'm going to go to the Add Track button, choose Instruments on the left-hand side, and let's try making up something new. If I click, if it doesn't already appear, the instrument panel on the left, I can see my piano, and again, I can play that piano using my computer keyboard or using the piano keyboards in school. Now, at the moment, I've got just a normal piano sound selected, and I might have a go with that actually and see what it sounds like. Let's just turn the octave a bit higher so it's more in the middle of the keyboard, around octave 3. There we go, cool. I'm going to try playing something in with this piano. Now it could be a little riff, so it could be a pattern of notes, a little repeating pattern, or it could be something using notes together, like a chord-like part. I'm going to try playing in a chord-like part here with this piano and see how it goes. Let's press record and see what I can come up with. Ready? There we go, and I've just played it once because I want that to kind of loop. Let's zoom in and see what it looks like. Alright, now my notes start at bar 3, but you'll see that it's created this big kind of gap at the start, which I don't want to be there. So we'll get rid of that, but before I do, let's just quantize what we've recorded. I'm going to double click on my part so I can see the notes in the song. Let's just scroll across so I've got them all on the screen. That's the piano part that I just played in. Let's click and drag to select them all, and then finally go to the quantize button over here to just snap them all into time. Now I've done that, let's get rid of this big gap at the start by going to the bottom left hand corner, click and drag, and so this starts exactly on bar 3. There we go. And let's make sure the finish is exactly at the end on the bar line 2. And this one is over 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4-bar loop. Now where am I going to have that coming in? I'm not sure really. Maybe I'll have it coming in over here. So I've got it coming in gradually. I'm going to have it here after 2 lots through the synth part, and then let's have that repeating as well just there. Let's see what that sounds like on top. There we go, so that sort of kind of works. Now what you play on these parts is completely up to you. You can play anything you like on these new parts. The important thing is to use your ears and to listen and to see if you think it sounds good. If you think that sounds good, go for it. If you want to try again and try recording other parts, then please do. Let's try adding one more instrument part. I'm going to go Add Track, go to Instruments, and let's see what else I've got. Now I can choose anything at all from this pattern here. I might choose another synth part, maybe something from Synth Keys this time. Let's see what else I've got. Having a listen to the various sounds and seeing what sounds good. That's the airy key sound. Let's see what else I've got. Sounds a bit strange. All sorts of stuff here. Let's try this organ type sound. Oh, that's quite an exciting, strange sound. Let's see what that sounds like with my track. I'm going to have to be careful and make sure that it fits with everything I've got already. When you've got so many parts in here, it's quite easy to add in something new that could sound a bit weird. So be careful. Let's see what it could sound like. I think I could use a version of that. Some of these notes are going to sound a bit strange with what I've got already, but let's have a go and see if I can record it in like this. There we go. So I just played I used 2 notes there. I used a low C going to a high C because I felt those were the notes that fit best with what I already had. Let's double click on it. Let's quantize it if I can find those notes. There they are. It's a good sound. And then let's quantize it. There we go, quantize. And now I can decide where I want to put that. Again, I can see it's added a little blank bit at the start, so I'm going to click and drag so that goes exactly over 2 bars. There we go, just there. In fact, I might have that coming up to the build-up. I feel like that might sound quite nice. Let's give it a try. It is very loud, so let's turn it right down. The volumes are on the left-hand side here, and that will give you a more precise control over what's going on. Let's turn the sound down so it's a bit more in the background. There we go, I feel like that adds something. And you can continue, you can play around by adding in as many tracks as you like, coming up with simple, short patterns. The simpler the better, because it's more likely to work with everything else you've got. Now, as an additional thing you can try is you can try playing around with the sound of some of these loops. If you click on the instrument, at the bottom you've got these different options. You've got the instrument option for actually playing it and changing the sound. You've also got this one called effects. Now, in the effects panel, I'm just going to choose my lead for the moment. In the effects panel, there is a bit that calls preset, and you can choose different presets to add a different effect onto the sound. Let's just solo, which is this S, so I can hear it on its own. My my synth lead part, it sounds like this. And let's try putting one of these presets on. Now, there's loads of stuff on here, and really just playing around with it to see what it sounds like can be a really great way to see what sounds good. So let's try one of these. That's added a kind of, a nice kind of echo onto it. I can try something which is a bit more of a filter, which adds a kind of wah type filter. As you go through, you'll see that it adds different kind of stuff onto your track as you play it. And you can also try playing around with the controls. Any of these, just have a play, see what sounds good. I like that kind of echo-like sound. Let's try adding something to my bass, see what sounds good. Here's my bass as it is without the effects. Let's try putting an effect on and see if it gives it a bit more emphasis. Yeah, I quite like that bit of a reverb, that bit of echo-like sound on it as well. And you can continue. You can do that with any of your instrument parts by clicking effects, playing with the presets, have a bit of a play around with any of the controls and see how it affects your song in general. Sometimes things like those echo-like sounds can sound really, really good and make your track have more of a sense of blending together. So have a bit of a play around with those. Finally, you might decide that you want to record some vocals on your track. You can do that by pressing Add Track, and then you can choose the voice/mic. Now you can record into this track using the microphone on your computer. If you're at home, you can record that using, if you're, for example, on a tablet or on a computer, the internal microphone that you normally use when, say, using video conferencing, for example, will work with this thing. You can even, if you're in school, plug in a guitar or bass, but actually if you're at home, you could play any sound into here. If you've got your own instrument, whether that's a guitar or another instrument that you want to play in, you absolutely can. But click on voice mic, you can see that here, and then when you press record, hopefully if everything's connected properly, you'll be able to record in your voice just like this. And there you go, you can see I've actually done that. Record in your voice just like this. There we go. And you could put that as different parts of your track. You could make some spoken words in the middle of your song. You could do some singing, and you could write a vocal melody for your song and sing perhaps a chorus line. And you can even go to the effects menu and choose some exciting effects that you could add onto your voice to make it sound even more exciting. Record in your voice just like this. There we go. I'll let you have a play around. So try adding in some new parts. And finally, the last thing you'll want to do is think of an ending. How is your song going to end after this point? So that's it for your tutorials of making a piece of dance music. Now it's up to you to customize and make a piece of dance music that fits the style you're going for and with sounds that you have chosen.